Welcome to Subramani. Today I'm going to talk about succession planning for financial advisors. This is a topic which is close to heart, and I have spoken about it at various forums. And the title of my topic is IFAs also have to retire. And one thing I've noticed is most IFAs do not even talk of making a will with their customers. So where is the question of being prepared for their own death if you're not prepared for the death of your client? So I think if you're an advisor and you're watching this video, thanks a lot. First thing is, when you're asked how many clients you have, most IFAs would say 200 or some number like that, and then I remind them of a small story of how 10 people go in the morning. The guru sends them across river. They finish their work and they come back, and when they come back they've swam and come across. They're very good swimmers, and they keep counting and they find that there are only 9 of them and not 10. And they go to the guru and say, Guruji, 10 of us went, but we are only 9. The guru, of course, finds out what happens. Then he makes them count, and he finds that there are 10 of them, right? Each guy who counted forgot to count himself. Now, when I tell this story to the IFAs, they seem to be saying, oh, we know this story. But when they say they have 200 clients, they have forgotten 2 of their most important clients, themselves and their spouse. This is true for men, this is true for women. So it's not a gender issue. So then I remind them that you remember this story, and we all saw this story in school, but you still did the same thing. You forgot to add yourself. Which means, if you are an IFA, first of all, treat yourself as a client. Make your will. That is the most important thing you can do. Make your will, which will take care of all your assets, as to what happens to your assets in case you are dead and gone, right? In this country, it will not be very easy to get possession of real estate unless you have a notarized will. So don't get into an argument whether a notarization is necessary. There are 3 stages: making the will, notarizing it, and registering it. You want to be multiply sure, register it. If you are still very young and you think that you may not require the registration, notarize it. Stop at the notary level, that's okay. But as you get older, maybe at 70, if you're making a will, you might as well register it, because you think you're not going to make any great changes after that. So this is one thing. At the same time, start making a succession plan for your business. Many IFAs in India, and I would think the serious ones are less than 50, who are above the age of say 45, 50, have got to think of what will happen to their business after they are no longer there. Now, making a will has a huge advantage. Then you suddenly wake up to the possibility that all your clients need a will. So if you have 200 clients, 202 to be more precise, you are going to end up making 400, 500 wills, because 200 for them, 200 for their spouses, and if your client is older, then for their children. If your client is young, then for their parents. So it's a huge opportunity. You need to coordinate with a lawyer and do it. Now, let's come to what happens to the business. You have a business which also has to be planned, right? Somebody has to plan as to what happens, because your client, imagine you're dead and your client calls up your wife and says, hello, can I speak to Subra? And Subra's wife picks up and she says, oh, Subra is dead. He says, oh, 1 second pause, and he'll say, what happens to my money? Because the first thing that hits him is what happens to his money, and we are all mortal, right? So go and plan your own succession, because it is not about dying, it's about sending a message across to your clients and to your staff, who both feel, this guy seems to be interested in furthering the business, he wants to grow the business, and therefore he is making some arrangements for it to be handled by somebody else. So that is so clear there is, I think, a huge advantage in making your succession plan. One, you live with less fear. You're not worried what happens to your client's money in case you die. The trail income continues whether you have put a nominee or no, because you shift all the trail income to the common entity, right? Recently we saw Sapient doing a very good job, and we find that all the take senior people who have enough money, have enough business, have enough AUM, and really nothing will happen if they did not plan their succession. Because let's talk of let me not name them, but let's say talk of two people just into their 50s. They actually have another 15-20 years ahead of them without the hassles of has the form been filled for properly. And I'm saying even in a electronic country, I mean, which we have done it now, there will still be some forms which have to be filled, which have to be coordinated, which have to be couriered. Statements have to be sent to clients, capital gains to be calculated, right? Although all the back office work will be taken care of by somebody, which means it gives you more freedom to go out and do business. Make sure that there is enough coordination among the people, and that gives you another 20 years of freedom to work, freedom to do whatever else you want, because you can take a break. Ask sole proprietors why they don't take a break. They rarely take a break because they're afraid that if they go away and some client requirement comes, what will happen? Of course, thanks to the cell phone, they're still moving around. Otherwise, they would be rooted to their office, right? So these are the advantages, and I'm sure even the whole staff, apart from the clients, are thrilled that okay, now there is a succession plan in place, because the staff must be told constantly by the people at home that look, don't be with the sole proprietor. What happens if the sole proprietor dies? What will happen to you? If you're 45, nobody will employ you. You're now only 32, so don't continue with them. These kind of uncertainties are killed. There is one entity which has got a big AUM, forget valuation, that will happen. Obviously, eventually one day it will happen. But right now what will happen is an amazing ability to grow the business because of the support, because of the research, etc. So you don't have to depend on the AMC to do anything for you. You can do everything, and all these things make sense only beyond a particular point of AUM, right? You cannot. What a big group of 7,000 crores can do, or 10,000 crores can do, you with 75 crores just cannot do. It's not physically possible. It is not even financially viable. You can actually go and tell a mutual fund, I want a product which looks like this, and I will give you 200 crores, right? You can underwrite an IPO. A small IFA cannot do that. So there are certain advantages which accrue to the group as a whole. So do that. Just a sec, I've written something. Let me just check whether I've completed everything. The other advantage which I see of people making their own succession plan is, suddenly you look at that as a business opportunity for all your business clients. You go and tell your business clients why they should make their will, why they should do succession planning, and that could be a great area for practice for the IFA. I don't think you should sit and do it, but you should coordinate with a lawyer. Lawyers don't ask many sensible questions. A lawyer, for example, did not ask me whether my mother is dependent on me, whether I should give a part of my wealth to her, whether my mutual funds or real estate or anything. Just didn't ask. My mother is financially independent. She does not need the money. That's a different thing. But the question is, he should have asked. The IFA will ask all these questions. The IFA should do the paperwork, the coordination, all that is necessary, and the lawyer will put it to form, put it in the paper, notarize it and give it to you. Then maybe his staff or somebody will help you register it. It's a good exercise. Make your will and do your succession planning. Everybody around you, including your staff, your partner, your clients, everybody will be relieved. Everybody will look at it as a signal that, wow, this person is interested in me, and therefore perhaps it will be a good way to increase your business, increase the size of your business, and it could be a good client acquisition strategy. Thank you.